Hello, and welcome to another lesson with me, Teacher Alex. How are you doing today? I hope you're good. Today we're going to look at maths, and in particular, angles and lines. So in the last lesson, we looked at angles and how to draw different angles using a protractor. We could estimate an angle, and then we could measure it to find the exact size of the angle. So today we'll look at more angles and lines that we can draw. Are you ready? Let's begin. So let's look at turns and right angles. Here we have an example of one right angle. What is the size of a right angle? What is the size of this angle here? 90 degrees. If it's 90 degrees, we can put a square angle to show that it is a right angle. A right angle equals 90 degrees exactly. If the angle is 91 degrees, it is not a right angle. If the angle is 89 degrees, it is not a right angle. It must be 90 degrees exactly for it to be a right angle. So here, we have a horizontal line and a vertical line that join, and the angle that creates is a right angle, 90 degrees. Or this is one turn. 1/4 of a complete turn is 90 degrees. 1/4 of a complete turn is 90 degrees. If we have a complete turn, thinking of a circle, and we just turn 1/4, that is a right angle, or 90 degrees. So 1/4 of a complete turn is 90 degrees. Here we have two right angles. So where are they? Can you mark them? Here we have a right angle, 90 degrees. And here we have a right angle, 90 degrees. What is the size of the two angles together? This angle here. We can add the two angles together and get 180 degrees. So here we have two right angles, and two right angles together are 180 degrees. So half a complete turn is 180 degrees. Before we had 1/4 of a turn, now we have half a turn, two right angles together. So half of a complete turn is two right angles, which measures 90 degrees. 180 degrees. Two lots of 90 degrees. Here we have three right angles. Can you mark them on? Well, we have the first one here, 90 degrees. We have another one here, 90 degrees. And the third one here, 90 degrees. So three right angles. What is the size of this angle? Well, to work it out, we have 90 degrees plus 90 degrees plus 90 degrees. So the answer, 90 plus 90 is 180. 180 plus 90 is 270. So three right angles equals 270 degrees. So we can say that 3/4 of a complete turn is 270 degrees. We have a complete turn, 360 degrees. 3/4 of that is 270 degrees, or three right angles. So here we have four right angles. Let's mark them on. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 right angles. 4 90-degree angles. 90, 90, 90, 90. So if we look, that is a full turn. If we imagine we go round and we turn a quarter, a half, 3/4, and a full turn. So if one complete turn is 4 right angles, 4 90 degrees, 4 lots of 90 degrees. So we can say one complete turn is 360 degrees, because 90 plus 90 plus 90 plus 90, or 90 times 4, equals 360, a complete turn. So if we have one right angle, we have a quarter of a turn, and that measures how many degrees, or quarter of a turn? 90 degrees. What is half a turn? Half a complete turn? How many degrees? 180 degrees. 3/4 of a complete turn is 270 degrees. And one complete turn, 4 right angles together, is 360 degrees. Okay. So let's try these. 2 right angles make up what? So we have 2 right angles together. Let's draw that. We have a line and a right angle here and a right angle here. What is the size of this angle? Well, we have one right angle measuring 90 degrees, another measuring 90 degrees. 90 plus 90 equals 180 degrees. So 2 right angles, 2 times 90 degrees equals 180 degrees. Question 2. 4 right angles is the same as what complete turn? 4 right angles. So remember, excuse me, 4 right angles together, 1, 2, 3, 4. 90 degrees, 90 degrees, 90 degrees, 90 degrees. What is that the same as? 90 plus 90 plus 90 plus 90 equals 360 degrees. Or if we make a turn, it is the same as 1 complete turn. So if you do a complete turn, if you yourself turn around and face the same direction, you have just turned 360 degrees, or you have done 1 complete turn, or moved through 4 right angles. So 1 right angle equals 90 degrees. 2 right angles equals 180 degrees. 3 right angles equals 270 degrees. 4 right angles equals 360 degrees. And in question 2, 4 right angles is the same as 1 complete turn. Okay? Question 3. What fraction of a complete turn is 270 degrees? So what fraction? We have a quarter of a turn, half a turn, 3/4 of a turn, or 1 complete turn. So which fraction is 270 degrees? Well, let's have a think. If we have 270 degrees, how many right angles is that? We have 1, 90 degrees, 2, another 90, 90 plus 90 equals 180, 1 more right angle, another 90 degrees, 90 plus 90 equals 180, 180 plus 90 equals 270. So we know that 3 right angles is 270 degrees. So what fraction of a complete turn is that? So let's imagine we are turning here. 1/4, half, 3/4. We have turned 3/4 of a complete turn. So the fraction is 3/4 of a complete turn. Okay, so remember, if you move through one right angle, how many degrees is that? 90. And what fraction of a turn? 1/4. If we move through two right angles, how many degrees is that? 180. And that is half a turn. If we move three right angles, how many degrees is that? 270 degrees. And that is 3/4 of a complete turn. And if we move through four right angles, we do a complete turn of 360 degrees. 4 lots of 90 degrees. Okay. How many right angles are there in a rectangle? How many right angles? What do you think? Well, let's have a look. Here is a rectangle, and in the corners we have 4 angles where the lines meet. We have an angle here, an angle here, an angle here, and an angle here. 1, 2, 3, 4 angles. So we have 4 angles in a rectangle. How many right angles do we have? So remember, a right angle equals 90 degrees. Exactly 90 degrees. So how many do we have in a rectangle? Well, let's look. We have 1, 90 degrees. 2, 90 degrees. 3, 90 degrees. And 4, 90 degrees. So we have 4 right angles which make up a rectangle. So inside a rectangle we can say there are 4 right angles. So the answer, 4. Did you get the right answer? Well done if you did. How many right angles are there in a square? How many right angles are there in a square? We know there are 4 right angles in a rectangle, but how many in a square? Well, let's have a look. How many angles are there inside the square? 1, 2, 3, 4 angles again. We have this angle here, 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 and here. So how many of these angles are right angles? Remember, right angle is exactly 90 degrees. Well, we have 1 here, 90 degrees. 2, 90 degrees. We have a third one, 90 degrees. And another one, 90 degrees. So how many rectangles are there in a square? 4 right angles. So we have 4 lots of 90 degrees. So again, the answer is 4. Did you get the right answer? I hope so. Well done. Okay, let's look at this shape together. Angle ABD equals 30 degrees. So where is angle ABD? Remember, when we write an angle with letters, the middle letter is the vertex of the angle. So look for letter B first. Where is it? Here. So we know this is the middle of the line, this point. That is the middle. Now we want to find out which lines make up the angle. So we have a line A and B here, AB, so this line, and line BD, B to D, is here. So we can say that the angle ABD is this angle here. Again, AB, the line A and B here, and the line BD. So we use these two lines to make up angle ABD, and this is 30 degrees. What is the angle DCB? Let's have a look. So angle DCB, D, C and B. C is the middle, so let's look for C. Then we want line DC here and line CB here. So we are looking for this angle. What is that? A right angle. So a right angle is 90 degrees. So angle DCB equals 90 degrees. Did you get the right answer? Well done. The line FH divides angle EFG equally. Okay, so let's look at line FH. Have F and H. So the line is the purple line in the middle. And it divides angle EFG. Where is angle EFG? So look for F here, and line EF, F and G. So here. So this is the angle. So the line FH divides that angle equally. It splits it into two angles of exactly the same degree. So what will that be? What will angle EFH be? What is angle EFH? Here. And what is angle HFG? Here. So if the line splits it equally, we can work this out. What is this angle on the square? Remember we said there are 4 right angles inside the square. So this angle must equal 90 degrees. Now the line FH splits that angle equally. It divides it in 2. 90 divided by 2 equals 45 degrees. So we can say that angle EFH equals 45 degrees. Angle HFG equals 45 degrees. So we know that the angle EFG is a right angle, and half a right angle is 45 degrees because our right angle is 90 degrees. Let's look back at the previous question. So we measured angle DCB. What would be angle DBC? This angle here. What is the size of this angle? Well, if we want to measure it, we will look at the size of the total angle here. We know there are how many right angles inside a rectangle? 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this angle here equals 90 degrees. And we know that angle ABD, this angle here, is 30 degrees. So what is the rest of the angle? 90 minus 30. So we know this is 30, and we want to find angle DBC. The answer equals 60. 60 degrees. So we could say that angle DBC equals 60 degrees. Because we know that the line has split the 90 degrees and formed one angle of 30, and that leaves 60 degrees left to make up the right angle. So angle DBC, 60 degrees. Angle PQT on this rectangle equals 36 degrees. What is angle RQT? Well, let's find angle PQT first. So we look for Q, because that is in the middle. Q is here. Now we look for line PQ, this line. So from here to here. Then we look for line QT, Q to T, here to here. So we are measuring this angle, and this is 36 degrees. What is angle RQT? So look for Q again, in the middle, Q. Line RQ is here, and line QT is this line here. So we want to find out the size of this angle. How do we do that? Well, remember, there are 4 right angles in a rectangle. So this angle altogether equals 90 degrees. The right angle equals 90 degrees. The line QT has split that and formed one angle of 36 degrees. So we can use that to find out the angle RQT. 90 minus 36 equals, what's the answer? 54. So we can say that angle RQT is 54 degrees because the line QT has split the angle into one angle measuring 36 degrees, and because it is a right angle, we know that if we minus 36 from 90, we will get the remaining angle RQT. So angle RQT equals 54 degrees. Angle TSW equals 15 degrees. So what is angle TSW? Look for S, because that is in the middle. S is here. Line TS is this line, and line SW is this line. So we are measuring this angle, and that is 15 degrees. What is angle VSW? V to S and S to W down here. So we want to measure this angle. How can we do that? Well, we know in a square there are 4 right angles, 4 angles of 90 degrees. So this angle altogether equals 90 degrees. And we know that this angle TSW equals 15 degrees. So to work out this angle, we minus the 15 degrees. And what does that give us? 75 degrees. So we can say that angle VSW equals 75 degrees, because we know in a square we have 4 right angles. If we minus 15 degrees from a right angle, we minus 15 degrees from 90 degrees, and that gives us the remaining angle here, VSW, and that is 75 degrees. Okay, so remember, if we know there is a right angle and the line splits it, we can find out the angle of that it makes if we have one of the angles. Here, the angle is 15 degrees, so we know the remaining angle is 90 degrees minus 15, which gives us 75. So look at the diagram below. Find as many angles as you can. So here we have a combination of lines, a lot of lines drawn together. How many angles can you see on this diagram? Let's mark them on together. So let's go round clockwise. Here we have 2 lines, 1 angle. So we can call this angle 1. Moving on, we have this angle here. Angle 2. Here we have angle 3. Angle 4. Angle 5. Angle 6. And angle 7. So we've actually gone through one complete turn. So let's make some estimates of these angles. Let's estimate size. What do you think the size of this angle is? Well, we have what looks like a horizontal line and a vertical line. So I think we can say that this angle, we can estimate it to be 90 degrees. 90 degrees. What else? If there isn't a right angle on this side, it must be another right angle here. So this angle is 90 degrees. What else can you see? We can estimate also that this line here and here splits the right angle exactly. So we could guess that this angle is 45 degrees, and that would make this angle 45 degrees as well. So when we have a right angle and a line splitting it in the middle, we can estimate that that is two angles of 45 degrees. As we've gone through one complete turn, we can estimate the size of each angle. So let's have a think. If we say this is 45 degrees, and this angle is 45 degrees, we want to create a total turn of 360 degrees. Do you remember there are 4 right angles in a complete turn? 4 times 90 equals 360. So what else do you think? We have an angle here of 90 degrees as well, split into 3 angles. So we could guess that this angle is 30 degrees, this angle is 30 degrees, which would make this angle 30 degrees. These are all estimations because we're not using a protractor. We are estimating the size of the angle. So what have we got so far? 30 plus 30 is 60, plus another 30 is 90, plus 45 is 135, plus 45 is 180. So we're correct up to now. Half a complete turn is 180 degrees. So what do you think this angle is? If we think this is a right angle, we could guess that it crosses that in the middle. So we could guess that half a right angle is 45 degrees, because this looks like a straight line. And we have an angle here of 45 degrees, so the opposite angle would also be 45 degrees. And what about this angle? Is that greater or smaller than 90 degrees? We could estimate that it is greater. And let's add up the angles and see what this angle must be. So, we have 45 degrees plus 45 degrees, 90 degrees. 90 plus 30 equals 120, plus another 30, 150, plus another 30, 180, plus 45 equals what? 225 degrees. So this angle here must be 360 minus 225 degrees. What is the answer? 135 degrees. So if we add all that up, we come to a total of 360 degrees, or 1 complete turn. So there, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 angles, and all of them together create a complete turn of 365 degrees. We have 2 right angles that we can see, and other different size angles. But remember, in one complete turn, even if it's broken up into lots of different angles, the sum of all them angles together will be 365 degrees if we go through a complete turn. How many angles in 1/4 of a turn? 90. How many in half a turn? 180. How many in 3/4 of a turn? 270. And how many in a complete turn? 360. Okay, that's the end of today's lesson. Remember to practice your angles and lines at home, and I will see you next time for another lesson with me, Teacher Alex. Bye for now.